Hi, travelers. Tara here. Today is January 19th, 2017. I am coming to you today with a general reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Please keep in mind that this is a general reading and the messages will not resonate with everyone. I do ask that you check back to your Moon and Rising sign as those videos are posted. In order to gain any specific insight into your situation does require a personal reading. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can simply click on one of the links in the upper right hand corner of the video that will take you directly over to my website. I do ask that before you actually book and make payment that you do read the important information on booking. That will explain a lot of things to you. I do readings 6 days a week. Let me see what's happening here. We are coming out of, we have just another few days of the Mercury direct shadow phase. Mercury went direct on the 9th of January. However, it's still out of retrograde phase. It still takes a couple of weeks for it to actually get up to speed. So there may be some delays, miscommunications, not feeling like talking, travel disruptions, things breaking down on you, things of that nature. We are also on the 28th of January, we'll be coming on the new moon in Aquarius. New moons are always beginnings and endings. We had, a chance to start something new. So I think particularly for Virgo and also for Gemini, because both signs are ruled by Mercury, that this is going to be an opportunity for us to kind of maybe move forward with whatever we've been kind of hanging on to. It is always good to rework, review, revise things under a Mercury retrograde, under any planetary retrograde actually, but particularly Mercury, because he rules travel, communications, sales, negotiations, billing, contracts. He rules those kinds of things. So that being said, I've already pre-shuffled the cards. I'm working today with the Radiant White deck. I also have the La Vida Sibila, and I also have the Indovina Sibilas, along with the Angel Answer cards. What we're going to do is lay out 9 cards. I would like to welcome my new subscribers. For all of my die-hard subscribers, thank you for sticking with me into 2017. I really appreciate all of the love and support that you guys have shown me, and I hope to continue to bring you readings that resonate with you. Now, I did pre-shuffling, and what has presented itself is this Queen of Pentacles here. Of course, we know that this is going to be representative of an earth sign, Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, but this is the reading for Virgo, so we're going to assume that this is the correct reading. This can be male or female energy. This is just how the card has presented the energy. Typically, if it's feminine energy like that, this is a receptive time. If it were the King of Pentacles, it would be a more outward projected energy. This is a more receptive time. We have also had the 6 of Coins present itself upside down. Now, you guys that have been with me a while know I don't read upside down cards, but for whatever reason, the card has presented itself that way. These 2 cards together are telling me that for a lot of Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, perhaps you are at a point where you realize that you're going to have to pull back from doing all of the service or the work, because right side up, the 6 of Coins is about charity, financial flow, give back. It is, Virgo is the sign of service, most happiest when we can be of service to people. And so this is about perhaps us pulling back a little bit from those service oriented obligations and duties that we so love to throw ourselves into. We can even see that the scales are upside down. So I think perhaps for some of us, and it could just be simply that it is the Mercury retrograde has really been kind of beating us up, and we don't know exactly what's happening right now. So perhaps we've been, because I am a Virgo sun, we have been perhaps kind of laboring behind the scenes, but not feeling as though we're getting anywhere. There is no appreciation. There's nobody that we can talk to or depend or count upon. But at the same time, we must be fair in categorizing ourselves that we do like to jump in and help with things, perhaps sometimes even when we're not asked, you know. And so maybe this reverse Six of Pentacles is saying, you know, it's time for us to become a little bit selfish, and all of that stuff that we give to other people, we need to now take that and focus it back on ourselves, because we got this one more week coming up. So let's lay, before Mercury comes out of the direct shadow phase. So let's lay the rest of the cards and see what they have to say. I have the Ten of Swords. Yes. The Five of Cups. The Knight of Cups. The Lover's card. Well, the Nine of Wands. The Page of Swords. And the Eight of Wands. Underneath the deck, I have the Six of Wands. So right in the center of the spread, for those of you who are new, the tarot is broken into two different groups. We have what are known as the major arcana cards. These are the cards of life lessons and spiritual lessons. I think automatically off the bat, perhaps one of the most important lessons that Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising can integrate is to allow other people to fix their own shit. Okay? I'm going to throw that out there. We have one of those here, and we have the Lovers, and it represents Gemini. This can represent the duality of finding the balance. This could also be indicative of a third party coming into a situation here. Why do I say that? Because it's a choice. It's about union and love and cooperation. It is not the energy of the Two of Cups. That is meeting your match. So this could be about meeting a partner or meeting someone, but now you've got to make the choice about whether or not this is the right partnership. Okay. I have this Knight of Cups in the center. And the Knight of Cups is indicative of a water sign. He would be a Cancer, a Scorpio, or Pisces. We can see that this Knight is moving towards the future orientation of the spread. He is a Cups. Cups simply represent emotions, not just love. There's anger, there's sadness, there's fear, okay, doubt, emotions. Even though you don't look as doubt as an emotion, but it can create all kinds of, you know, jacked up feelings within you. So we can see that this Knight, this could be someone stepping forward, someone new coming in, but at the same time, this is a tentative offer. As you can see, the horse has not put his foot into the stream yet. So the Knight of Cups can be somebody who will step forward, but then may suddenly and quickly change their mind. They may pull back. Or someone who's quite hesitant to come in and test the waters, okay? So they step forward, but it's not a full-fledged offer yet, all right? Now, because it is a Cups, we're going to just say, and Knights bring messages or news. I look at Knights as events. So this is some new type of event or person stepping through that has an emotional component to it. Let's put it that way. I can see perhaps for some Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Risings that indeed, you know, there's a lot of things that we've been doing that we haven't been getting perhaps full credit or recognition for. Perhaps we have been too giving, and perhaps we, out of that, we really are at rock bottom. Now, these are swords, and swords represent communications, thoughts, beliefs, ideas, perceptions, concepts, and also communication. And it could very well be, this represents the Sun in Gemini, and the Sun is in its detriment in Gemini. So this could be a situation in which you kind of feel that it's the darkest before the dawn. Maybe you feel as though you got, you know, stabbed in the back. Maybe you're just at a point where there's nothing else to be said. There's nothing else to be done. And you're just gonna kind of lay down and give up and try to wait for the dawn of another day. Okay. This could simply be just the way that you're thinking. Perhaps it could be where you've been working so much, you're so tired that you really don't have anything else to give. that at the end of the day, all you can do is just go home, lay down, and be quiet and wait for the next morning to come. Okay. That card can sometimes be the victim mentality card as well. So you do want to be cautious with that particular kind of energy. And it is a very difficult energy to come out of. But just remember its thoughts. Now, I feel that for some of you, there has been a time of emotional adjustment. And here I have the Five of Cups. And this is someone who's faced towards the past, who's crying over a situation that didn't quite go the way that they perhaps wanted it to, or hoped it would. This is, again, an emotional component to the picture. But as you can see, I like to call this card the Two of Cups in disguise, because if the person would just throw the cloak off, in other words, take off that mantle of sorrow or fear or sadness or depression or disappointment and turn around, because there's two cups behind you. Okay. Now, because I see that there is a castle and a bridge. Bridges in the tarot represent a transitional period. Okay. And so maybe some of you have had to move and leave behind, close family and friends here. Okay. And you're mourning this particular loss. But that, it's a transitional period. To me, this card always speaks to just emotional readjustment or emotional adjustment. I think that for some of you, you've been maybe putting up barriers. Okay. The reason why I say this is this: you can see that wall of wands behind is just that. It's like a wall. It's like a barrier. And this is the card of being wounded. It is the card of perseverance. It is the card of standing still and taking stock before you move forward. Maybe whatever this situation is, you have endured a lot of obstacles, but now those are really kind of behind you. And this is a moment where you need to stop, acknowledge the challenges that you face, whatever wounds that you have gained or that you got in this so-called battle, be they emotional, whatever those wounds are. Acknowledge that, hey, that shit hurt. And now let me stand here and think about it for a minute, clear my head. See, he's got the bandage on. Let me clear my head. So, because I've got to get back into the fray. Okay. I can see that even though whatever this loss here is of this Five of Cups, we see that there's a new offer coming through. But now this offer is going to have a choice associated with it. Okay, there's the choice. And in one respect, in reading this way, what I'm getting is that this is not something that you've not been through before. It's like the same thing is repeating itself. Okay. And we know that whatever choice that we made in the past, it caused us to feel this way, like we've been through a battle. But it's also telling me that there's a choice coming again, in which you may have to, okay, this time overcome those particular obstacles. Wrong way. Because we can see that here we are resting. We are kind of just like, man, I can't deal with whatever that is I got to deal with anymore. I'm going to cry over it a little bit more, but, I'm going to move it, keep it moving now. And this could simply be you taking your own cup and marching forward. Okay? Not necessarily that somebody else is going to come in, but that this is just you being like, okay, well, fuck it. That shit happened and I'm just going to keep it moving. Okay? And we do know that when one situation changes and we move in another direction, that we will be coming up against other choices. I think what the Nine of Wands is telling me is not to allow this and this, because sometimes this card can be about just making the assumption that you already know how the situation is going to turn out. In which case, sometimes it ends up becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy. So to me, the moon in Sagittarius, Sagittarius is that expansive kind of energy. In other words, broaden your sphere, broaden the way you think about things. And I know it's for a lot of us Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, we really are wallflowers. We don't like being in the limelight. We don't like a whole lot of drama. We will quietly move away from that crap. We will disappear off of the scene, you know, and then we tend not to engage a whole lot with people. It takes us a lot to trust people. I think we are trusting in one sense that we like to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But at the same time, truth be told, we know that we don't trust people very, very easily. And this could be these three cards about you giving your trust over too early or too soon to somebody. And, you know, they took advantage of that. All right. You see, they're actually giving back whatever it was that you offered to them. You offered something and you offered it in a good spirit, and they threw it back at you. See, they're giving it back to you. And this could be someone not accepting your offer of help or advice or whatever the case may be. We can see that there's another message. Now, this could be this Page of Swords. He is a student of communication. So maybe for some of you, this is about going back over and reviewing things that you may have missed in previous conversations, or looking back over maybe even perhaps how you may have, oh, what's it trying to say to me? Maybe you yourself have blocked communications from someone. But whenever the page shows up, he talks about becoming a student of communication. He's a student, and he does not hesitate to take risks in order to get to the truth of a situation. And maybe that's what that is. Maybe that Mercury energy has come in and allowed you to go back and probe into some things, and then you found out some stuff that you like, oh, hell, wait a minute, whoa. This could even be in terms of yourself, looking at yourself in this particular situation. For others of you, if this situation has not come about, we have it coming up. That 10 of Swords, that 5 of Cups, and it's going to happen in a rather rapid manner. And what I mean by that is I do feel that for some of you who have been seeking information or trying to understand perhaps what's going on in the situation, you're going to be getting that news quite suddenly here. Now, this is the 8 of Wands, and the 8 of Wands could be love at first sight. And in one respect, we can see that indeed this is either you carrying yourself forward and moving quite rapidly with that, okay? Or that suddenly out of this energy, you're going to be presented with another choice. And again, it's going to come quite rapidly. So this card is about love at first sight, but it also speaks to travel. Some of you may be traveling. Typically when I see this, this is, represents travel by air. So it's taking a flight someplace. It could also be with the horses here. It could also be that whatever this news is or this event that occurs, it's not only going to require that you get on a plane, but then you may have to get on a horse to continue your journey. Okay. So sometimes when that card shows up, that's how I see it. It's about getting there in the fastest means possible. It could be because there's a call for you. Somebody calls, somebody sends you a message. I need you to come. I can't make it there where you are, so I need you to be here. Please come for me. I need your help. You know, and of course, that's what we love to hear. And so here we have the 6 of Wands, and this is the card of victory. This is a card that says that after all of this that you went through here, okay, that crap really was not in vain, okay? But at the same time, you need to remember how you got, as you are celebrating this victory and this moving through, remember all of these bad things that you went through, because if it weren't for these bad things that happened or that occurred and whatever this thoughts, and you see, we have thoughts, we have emotions, we have, you know, the way of doing things. All of those things have gotten you to where you are. So even if somebody screwed you over and made you feel like crap, at some point, I think this card is saying you should thank them for that, because it has gotten you to where you are now. And that's a valuable lesson, not to forget that. Now, what's interesting is I have 2 6s in this spread, even though one of them presents itself upside down. And 2 6s speak to harmony and balance. I don't know who all these people is calling me, but I can't do it. Okay, I'm going to give you the 2 different, and in effect, I could say there are actually 3 6s in this spread, even though this didn't fall in. Okay, so I'm going to give you the meaning for 2 6s and then 3 6s. Okay, so 2 6s says that issues surrounding equality may affect the relationship. And as you can see, those scales are upside down. So there was something that was unequal in this particular relationship. And maybe it is the way you felt versus what you did. Maybe somebody thought you didn't have enough money, or you weren't fancy enough for them, that you did not measure up. Okay. Maybe this is you not thinking somebody measured up. The coins are not necessarily about, and I think if that's the case, if somebody thought you didn't measure up, if that was that belief, or that's what they have communicated to you in some way, shape, or form, forget that shit. Why? Because here you are. So it was unequal in the beginning. So we have the 2 6s, issues surrounding equality may affect the relationship. But then we have 3 6s. It says a soulmate relationship that goes back many incarnations. And perhaps that is what is on the way. Okay? Because this is going to be turning into an ace. This is a transitionary energy, that 10. Let's pull some Sabilas on this. Eight, 6, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. A page, a knight, and a queen. That's 3 court cards. And I'm wondering if maybe there might not be some issue of maybe a relationship in which there may have been children involved. One younger, one older. But these are also 2 different styles of pages bring news and messages, knights bring news and messages. And it could be 2 different styles of communicating with someone more dispassionate and someone more passionate and perhaps expressive, but not going all the way, if that makes any sense. This could even, again, it kind of speaks to your, like the moment you turn your head to move forward, that person's there to cut it off again. I don't know. That's kind of odd. Let's take a look at what this 10 of Swords. This could also be a re-engagement of communication. Like it picks up again. Because sometimes this could be about text messages and emails coming forward. All right, 10 of Swords. Let's see here. The precious presence, a gift not unselfish. Remember I just said, whatever you offer to somebody, they threw it back at you. The society. This is the desire, the longing, the hoping. And the fortuna. So this is speaking about, I think you've been waiting to hear back from this person, or you've been waiting for this person to accept it. It was really something very positive, but they threw it back at you. They threw it back at you. Not appreciated. But there was something unequal in the relationship. And I'm going to take a look at that 6 of Pentacles. This could be about being stifled or being ungrateful. So maybe you offered somebody something and they turned it down, or maybe the person offered you something and you turned it down. The militare. Well, this is a relationship with law enforcement, but it can also speak to secrets or someone running away from the fact that they're moving away from wanting to share. The domestico. Now, he's a collaborator. He brings news. He brings messages. He's a helper. He's a domestic. But he's running into the law enforcement. He's running into the militare on the upside down 6 of coins. One more card maybe will tell me. Ah, well, there you have it. It looks as though it's speaking about this Donna Maritata, the married woman. This is about respect for the married woman, but this could also be in the sense that this is someone who is in a nurturing capacity. And perhaps what the cards are saying is that unbeknownst to you, the reason why the person did not accept what you had is they had plans with someone else. See that person waiting in the background? And maybe this is why the knight did not step forward. Okay. Let's see. I want to take a look at this 9 of Wands here. That still doesn't explain to us what the imbalance is. Of that, perhaps we may never know. Now, on the card of wounded perseverance, a timeout, the Vedovo, the lonely man tied to his past. Well, now, isn't that something? Because they both kind of, here we have cups, and there we have the cross. And the cross is always indicative of very deep grief. Then I have the Superbia. Now, this could be about somebody's pride because the card speaks to arrogance and vanity. Okay? And then the Amalato, which is the sick person. So in effect, it's like, this is kind of weird because I'm getting the message that the person feels wounded, but they're still, maybe it's due to their pride in some way, but this is causing them I think, some sadness and some depression. That's an odd trio of cards, and I'm really having difficulty interpreting those cards. Let's take a quick look at maybe what this 5 of Cups will give us some. Because I do feel, regardless of what this is talking about, I do feel that there is going to be a choice, a message about a choice coming. Now, what that means to you, for you, I don't know. It very well could mean that there's somebody brand new who comes up, okay? For some of you, it could mean that, if we're talking about the 3 sixes and this is a soulmate relationship that goes back many, many, many lifetimes, we have those 2 cups there. So perhaps for some of you, I don't know what that says. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Let's pull Sibila's on the 5 of Cups, and maybe that'll tell us something. There I have, look, the Lamante, the female lover. Now, whether this is same-sex or heterosexual, the female lover, whomever's going to take that role, in the past, she's on the side of the 3 of Cups. So there's some emotional adjustment here. I don't know if this Lamante is representative of the Queen, or because these are 2 different women. Maybe they are the same woman. I really don't know. I can't say. Yes, look. The Mercante. This is someone moving forward in a different direction. Now, isn't that odd? There is the Messaggere, the message from far away. Now, this is the card of contracts and negotiations. To me, this is like the Three of Wands in this deck. So I want you to look at this. This is, I guess, the way I'm to interpret this is someone who's sad over a past lover, but they move forward towards this Two of Cups anyway. Some message comes in about this Two of Cups. But the first card out on the future row, tied to the past, their arrogance and their vanity, and it's causing them issues. So I don't know if this is, I don't know what this is. Let's pull quickly some cards on the lovers. I don't know what this is. It's like two situations that are happening simultaneously, but then at the same time they're not. They're two completely different situations. Let's see. And then we're going to pull an angel answer card here. The donna de servicio. She is always positive. She's an action verb. She is also a domestic, a helper. You see, he's a helper too, but he's kind of like the kind of helper that you're not quite sure. He could be also the man returning, but then he's returning into, I don't know, relationship with law enforcement. It kind of doesn't make any sense. So anyway, she's a helper. She's always positive, and she speaks of errands and housework. The falsita, the lies, and the deception. Wow. 3 different women of the Lamika, or the relationship of trust. And this could be why on this 9 of Wands, we have these 3 cards. It could be because someone moved forward in a different direction, and perhaps in time that's not going to go well for them. These things are wholly 2 separate things. This is about trust. This is about lies. And there's the choice. And it almost speaks as though someone made a choice thinking it was going to be positive, thinking that it was going to be a relationship of trust, but now something has occurred, whatever that means. Now, let's whatever answer that these cards this spread did not speak about to you, or if they didn't answer any of your questions. And again, this is a general reading, so these messages will not resonate with everyone. Perhaps the angel answer card will answer that for you. I would like for you to formulate a question in your mind, and then I'm going to pull 1 card. Very enigmatic story. All right, here we go. 1 card. This one wants to present itself within the next few months. Okay? And maybe that's what this 8 of Wands and this 6 of Wands is telling you. Okay? Until next time, I do hope those messages help. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Namaste.